Hi everyone! So happy to see so many familiar faces here. We have an exciting event today, and I'd like to bring Max up, our president at Healy, to introduce our speaker today on a very interesting topic that's relevant to everybody: manifestation with chakra. Hi,
Super.
Max.
Thank you, May. Hi, everybody. Nice to see everybody here. Amazing. And thank you so much, May, for organizing this. Thank you so much, Joyce, for initiating this. This is really amazing to see you guys here. And I think the topic is amazing um, because I've been actually looking into a call. Like, we created this one. It was an interview between Mike Healy and Markus Schmieke. That was 2 years ago. And talking actually about the real essence of Healy. And the real essence of Healy is actually clearing up our energy field with all the rubbish what we have loaded over so many years, all the traumas, over all the fears, all the negative beliefs that holding us back from achieving the life that we want to be, and raising our consciousness actually to a level where we become more energy than matter. And manifestation is definitely a word that is actually used in many ways, but maybe not used enough, because we're manifesting all the time, in the good and in the bad, depending on what we're thinking. And our intention is so freaking strong. And I think we all have amazing stories, understanding and knowing what we manifested. But to be really clear about this, and I think this is also where the magic comes from life. If we understand where our thoughts are coming from and guiding or bringing these thoughts in the right direction with the right vibration, we can actually create amazing lives. And there are so many examples in my life that happened recently. Maybe before we start, I need to say that, Joyce. I was on a dinner that was just recently happened to me, and I was meeting with friends, and a good friend was sitting next to me. And years ago, we watched a movie called Aladdin. You know Aladdin. Everybody knows the movie Aladdin,
Yeah.
right? And there's a new movie from this one, and it just reminded us so much on our childhood. And we got so excited about this movie. And I remember we were stopping this movie, and there was always this song playing. There is one song, like it's called like The Whole New World or something like this. And it's an amazing song, and it reminded me of my childhood so much. And then my friend was saying, remember when we watched this movie together, we were singing this song because we got so excited. So we sang that song together. And I said, yes, 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 yes. And I couldn't remember the song. But it was on my tongue. It was like, you know this feeling when you know it, but you can't speak it out. It's there, but it's not really there. So like, and you think like, and I was so strongly thinking, I was so excited, I was so happy about the song. I think like that was such a great memory, but I couldn't remember the song, and he couldn't either. And then we continued the conversation. We didn't talk about this at dinner. And later on, we went to a friend's place, and I was taking charge of the music. Okay. And there were different people now in the game. There was not the same people as we had dinner with, just a few people from the dinner, and then new people as well. And I was listening to music, and I was not really creative. I think like to like ask the group, like, hey guys, anybody has a music wish? Nobody replies. I say like, guys, can anybody give me a good song? And nobody replies. And then this guy Lorenzo, he's a French guy, a friend of mine. He came, he was there, he was not with us at dinner. I said, Lorenzo, give me your favorite song, maybe a classic, the best song you ever loved, maybe before the year 2000. Guess which song he said? A Whole New World from Aladdin. How is this even possible? This is such a random song, and he comes up with a song. And I'm not sure if it's manifestation. I'm not sure if it's law of intention. I'm not sure if it's telepathy, but it's not coincidence that this is happening. And I know when we more and more learn and try to understand more how to use our energy, our intention, our vibration, in order to manifest things into our life, what we really intend to have, intend to do, then we become very powerful magicians. And I think this is a beautiful journey we are on. And now let me get to Joyce, who I'm very happily to introduce here. Joyce, you brought together 100 people today on your call. That's very lovely. That's also a law of intention of bringing amazing people here once again together to a very amazing and interesting topic, taught by an amazing person. I met you, I think 2 years ago, starting with Healy, and I know you are a corporate rock star. I forgot in what field, but I think it's finance or something like this. In Hong Kong, you appear as a really serious, big time, big player, businesswoman. And I don't want to be like messing up something when I'm below you somewhere, because I know you understand the business very well. So she's a very smart and amazing businesswoman. She found Healy, and I believe, and I'm not too sure, but I believe Healy opened a lot of doors and a lot of self-healing, self-knowing on a beautiful journey. It just came to you, and you manifested this device probably for yourself. And then I know you went through an amazing story of change in your personal life and in your business life, where you're now more than ever devoted to share the knowledge of energy, of frequency, of harmonizing your bioenergetic field with this little tool, without this little tool on this journey. And you brought it more to your life and now to more people's life. And this is really amazing to have you back here. So please, guys, let me introduce you, Joyce. And I'm not sure where you are right now, if you're in Hong Kong or in Italy. You're always traveling also somewhere.
Yes, thank you, Max. Thank you so much. First, I'd like to thank May for inviting me. Actually, she kind of pushed me into it, right? And she's been following my story. And then I'd like to thank you, Max, for making time to be on this show today. It means a lot to me. You're beautiful people. So let me tell you a little bit about myself, and hello to everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. I'm currently sitting in Hong Kong. And this evening with me, I have my niece. Her name is Liv. Say hi, Liv. Liv is going to be helping me with the chat. If you post questions or anything, she'll be the one to monitor it, okay? And before I dive into my presentation this evening for me in Hong Kong, I would like to share a little bit about Healy, my story on Healy. When I was introduced to Healy 2 years ago, man, I didn't believe it. And I told the person who introduced me to it to say, stop, enough. I had tried everything in the world. I have seen 8 cardiologists and no one can help me. So don't tell me about this little plastic device. And then she came back, was so persistent. I ended up buying the cheapest edition that Healy had. Now, ask me today, how many Healys do I have? I think I have 7, and I have 3 professionals, okay? Why do I have so many? You'll find out when you start having a relationship with Healy, 1 is not enough. You gotta have 1 to do your house, and then you have 1 for yourself, you have 1 for your friends, and then you'll end up like me with multiple mobile phones. I have 3 mobile phones running at the same time, and they're all dedicated to Healy. I had a miraculous, I have to say, a miraculous recovery from my palpitation. I still do palpitate these days, but very little, not like I used to before. Before, I used to palpitate almost 2 or 3 times a week. Now I have a small palpitation, maybe once in 3 to 4 months, and it wouldn't last more than 5 minutes. Okay, and I can credit it to Healy because I know that's the only change I made in my life. And then, as Max has alluded, the past 4.5 months has been very hellish for me, to say the least. I wouldn't go into the details because today is not all about me. Today is sharing with you what I have learned. But I can tell you that it was the worst experience that I ever had in my entire life. And I hit rock bottom. I stayed away from all of my friends, and I just went into hibernation for 4.5 months. And so today, you could say, is the day that I emerged from the cave, thanks to May. And so here I am. And during these 4.5 months, I fully embraced the Healy, and I fully embraced what I went through, and to learn about manifestation, to get myself out of the rut. And the program that I used the most in Healy was mental balance, chakra, and obviously I learned manifestation, okay? So I think this is the great time to dive into the subject. I realize for some people it's probably quite late. So let me tell you that this evening, we are going to share like about an hour, and please feel free to ask questions in the chat box, yeah? And I want to, before I start this presentation of mine, I want to give some credit to books and teachers that have taught me about manifestation. I'm not a yogi, I'm a corporate woman, but I was very fortunate to be able to meet people during this time that gave me direction. And I have to say that it's probably Healy too, because if you have done a lot of spiritualism thing through Healy, you'll find that you resonate towards those people with same ideas. And so credit to Sagib and books that I have read that brought me here today, and I'm sharing with you what works. And I'm actually a testament of it, okay? Because it has really helped me, and I have really recovered. I have to say that I am 90% on the road of recovery. Now, what is chakra? Probably
Joyce,
all of you know.
sorry,
Yes.
just a quick interruption. People cannot get in. Is it max at 100, or do you have to allow for more people to get in?
Oh, people can't get in? They should be able to.
Yeah, it's
I
max
think
at.
it's limited to the 100.
Oh, is
It's
it?
limited to the 100.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. We record it anyway.
Yeah, so sorry.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. All right, so let's, sorry, lost my trail of thoughts. Never mind, let me get back to it. Now, basically, we have two bodies, you know, we have a physical body and we have an energy body. Yeah, and we learn things through our energy body. When we know that in the energy body, there's vibrational frequency. It could be, you know, our cells vibrate, our organs vibrate, our bones vibrate, our muscles vibrate, right? And in different cultures, we call it different names. We call it chi, we call it prana, we call it life force, right? But there's also the spiritual, it's also the spiritual bloodstream. Our chakra is actually our spiritual bloodstream that carries the oxygen, the nutrients, the hormones through the body. It helps regulate and balance us, protect us, and remove waste materials from our body, prevents cloggings, all sorts of things. So if you want to think of chakra, you think of it as a system that connects and support both our physical self and our energy self, okay? There are 7 main chakras that we are aware of, but in reality, there are more than 7. There are about 114 chakras, but those are the ones for the real pro, the real professionals. Today, we'll stick with the 7, okay? And it's not only human beings that have chakra. Animals, plants, trees, even Earth has a chakra system. Yeah. And whenever people talk about chakra, they always say it's a ball, it's a wheel of energy. Imagine it, you know, a ball of energy spinning in a vertical axis. And it comes in different colors. So you have your crown, you have your third eye, you have your throat, the heart, the solar plexus, your sacra, and the roots. Now, some people, even when you try to describe the chakras to them and about the spiritual body, they still have a very hard time, you know, understanding or imagining. I think I used to be one of them because I'm more of a technical person, more IT oriented. So now I often tell people, think of your body as the hardware, the computer itself, and the chakra as your operating system. Perhaps that's easier for you to imagine what your chakra is like, right? And there are, when there are 7 chakras, there are the upper 3 and the bottom 3 chakra and the divider in between. We say that the upper 3 are spiritual and is connected to our crown. Is connecting us to our divine self. It could be connecting us to the universe. And the bottom chakras are physical chakra that ground us as human beings. That's the best way of looking at it. And another thing is when you look at chakra, really there's 2 flows. There's an upward flow and then there is a downward flow. So in the manifestation, we will focus on the download flow, okay? The upward flow really raises our consciousness. It's the chakra that is below our heart center, is connected to the physical world, okay? And it represents spiritualism. And the energy move up to connect more to our consciousness. While the download flow is more used for manifestation, because as we move from spiritual to physical, we bring our desired outcome from the physical realm to a spiritual realm. If you can imagine that. Now, there are 7 tools of manifestation. Basically, they relate to our chakra. When you want to wish something in life, when you want to manifest something in life, you have to be very clear, what is it that you want? Now, when you truly ask yourself this question, many of us don't really know what we want. I was one of them. When I went into this class for the first time, and I was asked, what do I want in life? And I thought really hard about it, because if you look at the way I live, I have a pretty decent life and comfortable life. And what is it that I really want, right? It requires you to do some soul searching. What I mean by that is that, for example, someone may say, I want a house. But what does the house mean? Basically, it's because you want comfort and you want security, right? Or when I say I want a relationship with someone, what does that mean? Well, translated to your spiritual self, it's like you desire love, you desire someone to protect you, and you desire to share that with someone. So when you first want to start manifestation, you really have to sit down and ask yourself very specifically, what is it that you want? And you must feel it. You must be able to feel it, and you must be able to visualize it. So the 7 tools of manifestation are, first, crown chakra. The crown chakra helps us make our intention. Write it down, what is it that we want? And the second tool is our third eye, visualization. We imagine it in our mind, we visualize it, the people who are really good in visualization are the really rich people, trust me. People like Elon Musk, people like Jeff Bezos. Why? Because they have an intention. And the intention is to build the world's biggest bookshop, the world's biggest warehouse, right? And like in the case of Elon Musk, he wants to build electric cars. Think about it. It all started with an idea, and that idea was his intention. And he visualized it. And when he visualized it, is in his imagination, right? So then we come down to the third tool, which is the throat, because then you have your intention, you wrote it down, you imagine, you express it. Now, our voice is frequency. It's one of the most powerful frequency that we have. So we expressed it. And then we tell people, we dream, we visualize, see the tools coming together. And then you have a passion. That's your fourth tool, your heart chakra. It's in coherence with your mind. You feel it, you want it, and you want to make it happen. So when you have that emotion, it gives you a pretty good feeling in the morning when you wake up and you say, I'm going to get from here to there. And when you reach your destination, you have a sense of achievement, right? And then we move further down onto the solar plexus. The solar plexus is about wholeness, being whole, believing, right? And we move down to the sacral, which is surrender, believe that you can and it will. Some people say, if you don't have it, fake it till you get it, right? Yeah. And finally, the 7-2 is the root chakra, where you give gratitude. So if you look at how the chakra plays out, and you look at reality, we talk about law of attraction and everything else is similar, right? The law of intention, the law of clarity, the law of emotion, the law of focus. You set them and then you forget them because you detach, you trust, and then you allow it to happen, right? Those are your tools, yeah? And I hope all of you are following. Now, let's break down the tools and what they do and what may block them, okay, step by step. When we talk about the crown chakra, is a violet color ball of energy, and this is where you set the intention. As I mentioned just now, you've got to be really specific. What is it that you desire? What is it that you really want in your life, that you feel for it in your heart, in your soul, right? You have a clear vision of your outcome that you want. And that is why it's really important that you spend time and you write it down, yeah? What blocks this chakra is really doubts. And all of us has it. Sometimes we think we're never gonna make it, right? Let me tell you a story. I was in Tokyo. I spent 12 years in Tokyo as a director of Merrill Lynch. And I'm a Chinese woman. And I was holding a meeting in our boardroom. Can you imagine an American financial institute? Our boardroom is really quite overwhelming. Wood panel, you know, you walk in, long table, sits 30 people. I was sitting at the head of the table and talking to a group of suppliers, and they are from Switzerland, from Singapore, from India, and a couple of other places. And when that meeting ended, a gentleman walked up to me and she says, I hope you don't mind. I don't mean to be rude, but you sound like you came from Singapore. And my answer to him was, you're very close. I actually came from Kuala Lumpur. And she says, lady, I would like to salute you. And I was like, what the hell is happening, right? He says, it's very rare that you see a Chinese woman sitting in Japan, okay, in a Japanese environment and heading up the corporation. And then I stopped for a moment and ponder. I was like, shit, he's right? Because in my eyes, I have never allowed anything to stop me. I've never seen myself as an Asian Chinese woman. I've only seen myself as Joyce. And that's where I'm going to go. And that's the job I'm going to get. So when I was told by this gentleman, I stopped for a moment and I said, yeah, it's true. It's kind of a very unusual sight for a Chinese woman to be sitting here in this boardroom in Japan with other Japanese, and I'm actually the boss, right? So that tells you, if you believe, if you have a vision, it's very powerful. Nothing can stop you. You can go anywhere in the world. So believe in yourself. Next, visualization. Oh, sorry, did I miss one? No. Yeah, sorry. This is the second two. The third eye, indigo color, right? As I said just now, the power of imagination is really strong. So if you have it down on paper and you believe in it, imagine yourself in that position, okay? Presently, you are in that position. You won't believe the power of imagination is just amazing. And as I've alluded just now, it is just so if you look around, if you talk to any successful person, you know, how did they get where they are today? I'm sure they will tell you first they had a dream and then they make that dream come true. So put no limits to your imagination. What blocks this chakra? Limited belief. If you believe you can't, you're not going to make it. If you believe you can, you will be able to make it, right? So the biggest blockage I see today is social media, which is really screwing up a lot of people's way of thinking because they teach people the wrong values, right? They teach people about being biased about race, sexual preferences, and all sorts of things. And so people get so influenced by it, right? To me, social media needs to be very careful. You need to really monitor what your children do on social media. That's my personal feeling about it. Next is the throat chakra, the expression, the freedom to express yourself, right? And that's why when we are using our Healy, we've been told many, many times that before we fire a program, we should make our affirmation. We should make those statements and be very firm. What is our desires? What our intention? What is it that we want? And remember, if you have attended some of Dr. Michael Chan's training, you would have heard him saying that make those affirmations in the present tense. It is happening now because the intention is of an internal desire. The affirmation is a statement that says that you are ready to enter the external world through your expression. By stating it in the present tense, you actually create that relationship outcome in your future timeline. For those of you who believe in quantum timeline like me, I do believe that when I say that, I have created it and it will happen. It will happen because you trust, right? The power of your throat chakra is proportionate to the freedom of your expression. So speak out loud. What is it that you want? What block expression? Self-doubt, lack of self-confidence, fear of being judged by others. So let those things go. I'm telling you, just let it go because it's really not important. It's your life. Take control, okay? Don't worry what the person next door say about you, right? If I had listened to people when I was growing up, they'll probably tell me that, hey, Joyce, are you kidding? You're going to go to Japan and be a director and manage the Japanese? Man, are you screw up? But I didn't listen and I went and I did, okay? So that's the lesson there. Next, we come to our heart chakra. When you set your intention, you visualize it, you express it, you got to feel it. And how do you feel it? You feel it because when you're in that state of visualization, you imagine yourself, you know, in that state. Maybe you are driving a Ferrari. So imagine yourself seated at the wheel of the Ferrari and the power of that engine, the sound of that exhaust, you know, how do you feel? So that's what I mean about feeling it. The heart chakra specializes in love. So therefore, you got to love yourself. You got to love what you want. So when you write your intention, make sure it's something that you want. You passionately want it, okay? How much do you love it? You got to love it very much for you to manifest it, right? Express it. Now, what blocked this chakra is the lack of self-love. And when I first started with Healy, and I met a few time waiver therapists, and they were telling me about love, self-love, frequency for love. I had no concept what that was. But as I embark on this journey the past 5 months, I realized, oh, damn, sorry for my French. self-love is so important. You got to love yourself. You know, you love yourself by showing yourself, giving yourself time to meditate, you know, just loving yourself, spending time with yourself. I have to learn to spend time with myself. I wasn't that. I spent 16, 18 hours a day working. I had a couple of mobile phones, and being a banker, life was very hectic. It was in a fast lane. I thought that was love. I thought that was success. I thought that was my world, until I became ill, until I lost passion, until I look at, you know, I walk into a boutique and I could just buy what I want, but couldn't feel the love, couldn't feel, you know, I bring something home and it lasts 5 minutes of joy, and then I just put it there at the corner. So now I'm learning. It's a brand new world to me, but I would encourage all of you to spend some time on reflection and loving yourself. If you love yourself, you'll be able to give yourself more to others. Trust me. I found that out, right? Another thing is compassion. Have compassion for others. Have compassion for the less fortunate. You know, have time for others. That would really help your heart chakra. Wholeness. Wholeness is not something that is easy to understand. When the teacher was telling me about wholeness, I was just, what is wholeness? And he tried to explain to me, it's about us feeling worthy. It's about us feeling complete with ourselves, and that I feel that I am perfect. Okay? Someone else may think that I'm imperfect. It's not important, because I feel that I'm complete and I'm perfect. And you need to feel that. And when you feel this and you have self-confidence in yourself, you feel whole, you become a vortex, a magnet that will attract the outcome. Okay, and this is what they call the law of attraction. So some people say, how come I'm doing law of attraction and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, but it's not happening? Well, it's not happening, people, maybe because you don't feel that you're self-worthy. You don't feel that you are perfect. You still feel that you are flawed, you know? So think about it, you know? People who feel love will attract love. Now, this particular blockage is actually quite, like, all of us suffer from it, all of us, okay? It's things that as we grow up, it's a social conditioning problem. The things that our parents say to us, the things that our friends say to us, the things that we get from television and social media, you know, like now, if you look at, if you think of the time, I'm a Chinese woman. I come from a Chinese family. Guess what? My parents, my grandparents, everyone. Joyce, to be happy, you need money. Joyce, you got to be scoring A's. You know, they compete. They put us against our cousins when we have our test results, right? So when we grew up, we believe, man, I need to make money. The more money I make, the more happier I will be. Today, I'm sitting here. I'm successful, but I'm not that happy. So what my parents told me wasn't true, right? What is abundance? To me, abundance is when you are able to do what you want to do, when you want to do, with who you want to do, without thinking. That's abundance to me. I would think that Max and May would agree with me as well, because if you have all of those things, means you have freedom, you have financial independence, you have good friends, right? So social conditioning is something that stops us having wholeness. Social media too. If you look at all those reality TV shows, the Kardashians, the rich wife of Hollywood, the rich kids of Dubai, and then the bling empire. When you look at them, you're like, shit, they spend 50,000 on a handbag in 2 seconds, right? They fly around on private planes. They have drivers, they have bodyguards, and we have nothing. So the values are different, right? And they're teaching all the wrong stuff. Because does that make you whole? I don't know. Maybe if we have a chance to ask any of the Kardashians whether they are happy, right? So those things block us, block the solar plexus chakra. Emotional abuse, abandonment, all of those things also block our solar plexus chakra. Moving on to our sacral chakra. Now, this is the one that is really very difficult to do, honestly, especially when you're an A-type personality person like me, because we tend to want to control everything and control the outcome. Millions of dollars of project, multi-million project, man, we have spreadsheets and everything else, timeline, right? And here you are telling me that I need to learn to surrender and let it go and hope that it's going to happen. Man, it's not easy, but it works, right? So the sacral chakra is all about detachment, letting go. Don't worry about it. You have sent it out into the universe. Trust that it's going to happen. Have faith. Have faith that the universe has your back. Yeah. Not easy, but try. What blocks this chakra is when we are repressed or we avoid such feelings. We try to tell ourselves that, no. They say surrender, but I still need to pull back a bit. No. I need to, it's just, I've got to just attach a little bit, how about 50%, right? It's so difficult to let go. So that's one way of repressing and avoiding. Another one is when you have too much of it. When you have too much of it and you let go, it becomes an addiction. So drug addicts and all that, they just have too much of this energy, real, and then the fear starts destroying our intention and it will not happen. Yeah. Finally, we come down to our root chakra. Our root chakra is responsible for our confidence, right? And a lot of ailments also stems from our root chakra when you have no confidence. Gratitude is in the manifestation must be felt deeply. You got to have this in you to say, I'm asking for all these things and I'm doing all these things. And today I am grateful for what I already have, right? When you have, I know sometimes it's easy for me to say, but for some people say, hey, Joyce, what the crap are you talking about? I have not enough money. My salary when I get in a month is just enough to pay my rent, and I can't even go for a movie. Yeah. But if you have the confidence and the gratitude and your work, you will be able to make that improvement. You will be, because you will not go into a state of self-pity. It's the self-pity and the comparison with other people that stop us, right? But if we're grateful and we look at people and we help people, eventually people will help us back. That's the way the universe works. Now, what blocked this chakra? The number one is worry. We can't stop being worried. Basically, human beings all worry, right? But the more we worry, what's the point? Really, it's not going to improve. It will just make us more insecure. So next time when you are worried, you ask yourself, do you really need it to survive? If you don't need it to survive, then why are you worried about it? Maybe it happened yesterday, but you can't change yesterday, right? And you're worried that it's going to happen tomorrow, but you don't even know what's going to come tomorrow. So be present. Just think about today and then leave tomorrow. The people who do this the best, honestly speaking, are the monks, because they have retreated into their own world, detach, and they don't worry much. If you talk to a monk, he just thinks, tomorrow I'm just going to have food. Someone is going to come to the temple. Someone is going to donate food. Somehow there will be food on the table. I'm not going to worry about the food tomorrow. It will come. So if you can do that, it will be wonderful. Yeah, I'm still trying to do that myself. So I've actually walked you through the 7 tools, their blockages, hoping that it will give you some insight. I don't think you're going to be able to just grab everything that I've said tonight. I would encourage you to buy books, to read about it, what I'm sharing with you this evening is just to give you some insight as to where and how and what you must do to manifest your desires. It's a great start, right? And obviously all this ties in with meditation. Yeah. So the way that you should do it in your meditation is to set your intention using your crown chakra. Imagine all those desires that you have written out strongly. Visualize it. Express it. Feel it. Feel that you deserve it, that it is yours, okay? Say out loud, I am the universe. I have infinite potential within me. I am worthy of it, right? Feel it. And then send the message out there to the universe, surrender to it. And say, you could say something like what I've written here. Dear universe, I place my trust in you and I surrender to you. Here are my intentions, right? And then be grateful. Give thanks to your desire. Okay? Do this sequence. That's the way for manifesting using chakra. I have a copy of these guidelines if you like. Leaf will give you a link to go and download a meditation guide that you could use. And obviously, you can improvise it to the way that you like and that fits with you, right? I'd like to touch a little bit about why meditation. I love Sadhguru. He is really a magnificent master. And there was an article that I read that he wrote on a blog called Transforming the Mind into a Wishing Tree. In it, he says that everything that human being has created on this planet was essentially first created in our mind. And the most miraculous thing in existence in terms of an instrument is not a computer, it's not a car, it's not a spacecraft, but our human mind. So it's the power of our mind, right? So meditation helps us to identify our blockages when we look inwards. It helps us to switch off from the physical world. It puts us in a flow state, right? So that we will not be distracted by our physical world and we will not be distracted by our negative belief. And it aligns us to the universe. And when we are at peace and quiet by ourselves, we are able to focus and then train our intuition, which will help us take the right action. And for some people, when you're meditating, you will find a lot of ideas coming through you, right? If you could remember those ideas, follow through with them, right? Because that's a form of intuition. You're getting some form of intuition. But meditation also calms our mind and gives us clarity. It helps us visualize. And that is why it is such an important, powerful tools for manifestation. And I love it because I can turn it on anytime, anywhere. Whenever I feel like meditating, I can just turn it on 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, right? So for those who have never tried meditation, I encourage you to try meditation. It's not so difficult. Even if you sit down, close your eyes for 3 minutes without thinking, that's meditation. It has no special formula whatsoever. So that's my little bit sharing about meditation. Next, I want to link this all back to Healy, because Healy is a very powerful tool that can help us do it, right? Often I'm asked by people, vibration and frequency, Joyce, what's the difference? So a lot of people here, I think some of you, I presume, may have had Healy for longer than me. I've only been with Healy for about 2 years. So I often tell people that vibration is an oscillating and a vibrating movement of the atoms. But the frequency is what is inside, because the frequency is measured in hertz. So if I have 1 hertz is equal to 1 vibration per second, 200 hertz is 200 vibration per second. And then they're like, I think I got it. Yeah. But really put the science apart. It's not really important. Do you really know how to differentiate between vibration and frequency? But what is important is that when you fire your Healy, make your intention, make your affirmation, and make it in the present tense. So if you switch on go and you press release, you hold on to your Healy and you make those affirmations, right? Because when you send it out to the universe and you set your intention, you will receive the right frequency for your needs. Believe in it, it works. Now, I just want to share a little bit about the different frequency that comes through our Healy. And all of this 639 is a healing tone for manifesting, attract love and harmonize relationship. 417 clears negative blocks and energy. 432 is a miracle manifestation frequency. 528 relief anxiety, and is also acknowledged to be a very good DNA repair frequency. 741 detox your aura and your spirit. 174 heals your pain, whether it's emotional or it's physical. And 396 allows you to let go of fear, guilt, and worry. So this is me, the way I look at my Healy, as I say, all of us have intuition, but the Healy helps because to me, the Healy is an accelerator, it's an amplifier, it's a magnifier, it's a manifester, okay? It helps to make whatever I want to do bigger, stronger, more powerful. But ultimately, remember that the magic is you. Healy is the enabler that helps you make the magic. So, what are the type of programs that you can use on Healy for manifestation? Remember, I mentioned the most important thing is your intention, but at the same time, you need to be relaxed and you need to surrender to the universe. And don't forget to make your affirmation. So in the pink dot, the relax program for unblocking limitation belief, a really good one is Go Released. And to align your heart with your mind is the one in the bioenergetic support called coherence. And to resolve conflict, we have a new one that recently was just given to us. I think it was 2 months ago, under the power of 3, called rebalance. And Deep Cycle has a really, really good program called Free Flow that promote unobstructed, smooth, balanced movement of energy throughout our body. And obviously, to balance our chakra as a chakra program. And in the blue dot, the success coach. Now, if you don't have it, I highly recommend that you get it. Okay. Right now, I believe you can only get it in the professional edition, where you set your goals, you set your intention, and you let it fire away. And if you have any emotional trauma, to help you overcome all those Australian bush flower, the bug flower, the creative homeopathy, they work wonders. If you set it for 4 hours in the night when you sleep, you will sleep like a baby. And when you wake up, you'll feel fresh, because it really will calm your monkey mind. And lastly, obviously, we all know that's the aura analysis. Okay, so we've come to the end of my presentation, and I want to thank you for sharing this evening with me. Got my email there if you want to ask some questions, or visit my website to learn more about the things that I love. And I love wellness. Yeah. And I want to turn this back to May.
I want to say a few words, but before I say a few words, Max, do you have some comments to share with all of us?
No, I'm really speechless. I think that was absolute amazing presentation and really needed, because I think it's everybody here on the call really wants to understand more exactly about the deeper meanings of how to utilize our energy, our life energy, to the best way. And you clarified it in such a beautiful way. And I think you also highlighted Healy as a tool, not as the answer, And I think this is really important also to know, because all of us need to do and go our own journey. But it's true, and I think we all can feel it in our own life when we are able to clear up the rubbish, the self-doubts, the fear of any kind of fear-related worries and traumas and all these negative thoughts what we have in our energy field. We are able to do magic in our life. And I think Healy is a beautiful tool that really supports us in doing exactly these things. And you said it so rightfully, and this is really one of the most important things by using Healy, is setting your intention, because the law of intention is maybe one of the strongest laws in the universe. And you showed it on your way, Joyce, and I know every single person here on the call, you are exactly at the place where you're supposed to be by having your intention set in one direction, and that brought you here, right? And it's the law of intention. So we are constantly creating. So I think it's time to take charge, and take charge of this way consciously, of knowing what we actually want, and not allowing those self-doubts, negative beliefs to direct our lives. And this is really the challenge here. And I know nobody of us, maybe some of us will master this completely, but I think the challenge is that we need to constantly work on mastering this. But when we do, then we create magic. And this little Aladdin story is just one story out of many. And I know many of you guys can relate to it, because you constantly manifesting something into your life. And now we have a tool that helps us to discover the magic of our lives. And I think this is beautiful. So Joyce, massive gratitude to you. That's a wonderful presentation, really beautiful. And I hope we can do this very soon again. Thank you so much, Joyce. And I give it to you, May. Thank you.
Great
Thank
pleasure.
you so much. Thank you so much. And to close this off, I just want to say a few things. You have no idea how amazing this is. Some of you know, I think all of us have our challenges. And And I'm sure that there's just so much, I'm learning from this presentation. And I want to emphasize something. The reason why Joyce is here is because she experienced a lot of challenge in the last few months. And she has just pushed forward one challenge after another, and investing a lot on herself. And I've been encouraging her to share, and she has put a lot of time to put together this amazing presentation to share with all of us. And I want to remind you, sharing is everything. Sharing is everything. You don't have to take on all your challenge by yourself. By sharing, you will get back so much more. And I just cannot help to get started with all the tools that you just share with all of us. And I have to twist her arms to come back to us again for more. I just cannot help. And then she has mentioned a little bit about the coaching module. That is mega. And I'm going to get with her to figure out what she can share the next round. Maybe there's going to be another 1 or 2 or 3 sessions. She's very, very busy, but we need it. We really need it. And it's going to happen. I know that. So I'm just going to wrap this up, and we'll be sharing the recording, and I would definitely watch it again. And let's just manifest together, because we all connected in the global, to raise the global consciousness. This is a mission of Healy. And by doing that, you are actually helping yourself. And you have to give before you receive tenfold. Thank you so much, Joyce. Thank you so much, Max, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to share with the community and to help us all to be the better version of ourselves. And I'd like to end the call today. And next time, we'll have a link that will allow more people to join us with today. Too bad. Well, bravo to all of us who got into the call before starting and got a spot out of the in this Zoom. But next time we'll have more spots available. So please invite all your friends to the next session. And thank you very much. And Joyce, do you have time for questions, or should we?
Sure.
Okay. So if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute. We'll stay
maybe I should ask my dear assistant Leaf, do we have some exciting question we should answer?
We actually do. We have 2 questions. So the first question is from Annie, and Annie is asking, how does one get these frequencies into the Healy?
Oh, it's already in the Healy. Maybe Max, you want to take that question?
So the frequencies, how they get into the Healy, you have to understand the knowledge of frequencies is actually ancient knowledge. It's probably the oldest knowledge that is around. And the experts that are working with frequencies, these guys are, some of them working since decades with frequencies. Some of the documents they found are several decades old of understanding exactly what kind of frequency is working for what the best. So they're being put into programs by, some of them is in the medical advisory board, some of them are therapists, some of them are experts, some of them are trying around, and they're putting these programs into Healy. So you have to understand that you are a frequency generator, and the Healy is a frequency generator. And with the Healy, we're building the interface to the information field. Okay, so this is why we are balancing our bioenergetic field by using the Healy. So every time we do have all these frequencies, we can generate them ourselves. But the Healy is the interface, and it helps us when we've been put out of balance to put us back into balance. But it's the same thing. You can also use those frequencies, and you know they are known on Google, for example. You have 434 hertz, I can't remember exactly, which is putting you in coherence. So these are known frequencies. You can apply them with sound. You can apply them with visuals. You can apply them with symbols. You can apply them with microcurrent. You can apply them through through the information field, through the ether, through the quantum field, with the quantum sensor. Everything is frequency. And the more we are using this device, the more we are not only this device, but using the knowledge of frequencies and experimenting with it, the more we will understand about it. Every frequency means something different to everybody else. We know in general there are some frequencies that mean the same thing, but it's always individual, because you are an energy field and Joyce is an energy field and everybody is an individual energy field, and we are all moving particles. Okay, so it's a journey we are on, and this is also why the work we are doing here with this device is so important, because we are pioneering something. And this is really, we are creating an ecosystem, we are creating a fundament to understand more and more. I mean, when you look into the group, the frequency of experiences, now with 72,000 people, we have tens of thousands of testimonials. 3 years ago, people would have asked questions, how, what, why. Now we have those answers already by people experiencing it, right? And this is what we are doing. So I would say frequencies are really individual for you, but based on the experiences that we are gathered over the last years, 3 years with Healy, and over the last decades with those people who put their knowledge into Healy, we are so much further now, and we keep on going further. So this is why the journey is so interesting.
Leaf, next question.
All right, second question comes from Erica. And the question is, which program do you run while you sleep? Homeopathy or Australian bushflower or the coach manifestations?
It depends really. Every program is a little different, and I would encourage you to try to see which one works best for you, because bushflower may work really good for me. Creative homeopathy may work better for you. Really, it's difficult to say this is the one that you should be using. You agree, Max?
Again, it's very individual. You know,
Yeah.
I think the bush flowers are super powerful.
Yeah.
And even the reading is for everybody a slap in the face. Like this is how I see it. The bush flower is showing you your deepest shadows. And then even if you don't want to hear it or not, the observation alone is already an information, if you think about it, right? When you do the scan, it's almost two ways of healing. One time is the information, the observation of you asking yourself a new question. You haven't asked yourself this question before. So now you're looking for new answers, and suddenly there's something new coming. That's an information that goes to you. The second way of healing is then, of course, the frequency itself, that you're continuously broadcasting into information field in order to balance yourself. So I would say it's very individual. I know the bush flowers are working very powerfully on everybody who has tried them so far, right? But maybe you work very well with I Ching, you know, clearing up the space in your bedroom. You know, I think it's all about experimenting, but you know, so it's very individual, but all the programs are super powerful.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that we're here to share, but you will know that something worked for one person may not work for another person. So and you have to be patient and try different program. And instead of trying like 10, 20 program at the same time, you might want to try one and then another one and be patient, just like Max. Buckflower remedies, amazing, but there are different programs. So and just experiment it. And with Healy, I'm just like so it's amazing how much programs, including, for example, with the resonance. It's just so much. That doesn't mean you have to use all of them. And at different time of the day, some people may be able to vibrate a certain program in the evening, but some people, when they do that, it will keep them up. Keep them up at night, right? So
Yeah.
try it, and I suggest everybody keep a health journal so that you can actually keep track of, what program works, what time, how often you use it. Some people may be vibrating in like 37 seconds a few times. Some people I hear people vibrating in like 8 hours, starting when they put it up, vibrate it before they go to sleep, all night long for the I Ching program. So there's just so many ways of applying these programs, and it's basically abundance. So just give it a try.
Yeah.
And also, Joyce already had amazing slides. Please go back to the recording to recommend some of the program. It was there. I took a snapshot. But if you haven't, it's okay. You can review the recording again, and I'm going to do that. And then
there's a download, May. There's a download. Leaf will send a link out to everybody where you can go and download the guide.
Exactly, and please visit Joyce's site, where she has a lot of the information there, so you can go back there and review the information and do that.
All right, I hope that answers your question, Erica. Next question comes from Sherman. Can you guide us on how to use the chakras on the pink dot? I think Joyce mentioned or answered a little on this in the chat box.
Okay. The best way to use the chakra on the pink dot is to scan on the blue with the blue dot first, because when you scan with the blue dot, you will know what you need for that day, right? Because chakra changes every day. Yeah. So when you scan the blue dot and you have the one with the highest percentage, it could be crown, throat, run that on the pink dot. Okay, that's one way. Another way of using the pink dot chakra is when on that particular day, for example, you feel that you're just not up to it. Maybe, your heart is not feeling too good because there's just something troubling you. Then you run the heart chakra, it will clear up. Or that sometimes you're going somewhere and you feel there's a fear and you're not sure and you need a little pick me up. Then you run the root chakra, right? So follow your intuition and what you need that day. I hope I answered your question. Do we have any more questions? Maybe two more questions.
Yes, we have two more questions.
Yeah.
So next question from Francisca. If I create my own affirmations in the aura analysis, will it work the same like in the success coach?
I would imagine so. Yeah. Because it's not what you use, which tool, whether you use the aura or whether you use the coach, right? It's for different purposes.
And I
would
think,
imagine
Joyce,
it would work.
Yeah, we definitely have to have a separate session on that. And just as Francesca, as a quick answer, my understanding is the success coach is the same as the aura. It's developed from the aura module. So if you do that, it will work. But at the same time, if you just use the aura module, it doesn't give you a lot of detailed instruction, actionable instructions, and in helping you to manifest it. If you actually have the same focus set up on the success coach, it's amazing. It's amazing. The report, we have over 1,000 databases and give you specific insights as to what to do. And I'm constantly just surprised how Healy does that, and tell you, it literally gives you detailed suggestion what you need to manifest in different areas of your life.
Let me add on this one. You can almost see the coach as a manifestation amplifier, and because you can type in your intention. And remember what Joyce was saying before about intention. You want to have your intention set in the present moment, your affirmation, basically. It's already done. And this is how you describe your intention. And while you do so, and you have this goal in your mind and the intention wrote onto the Healy, you can see in all areas of your life where your blockage is and what you need to do, what is the work you need to do in order to get there. So you will then be aware about the things that you need to work on, and you can work through. I didn't even know that before. Like I've worked completely different with a coach until some amazing people in Mexico told me they're using it as a manifestation amplifier. And they put in exactly what they wanted, and they put it in as it is already done, and they reach their goals. So you can see it almost like this: have the coach as a manifestation amplifier, and the aura as the aura model.
And to add to that is that I think the easiest way for anyone, if you don't have the success coach, is to reach out to your sponsor or your upline to get a scan. That's the easiest to find out, and then you can do the comparison and gain a better understanding of how the coach work. And I remember when the success coach came out in September, and it was Joy's testimonials that just basically just triggered me, and I had to get it, and I used it. I've been offering probably over 50 scans now, and every single one enriched my knowledge of it. So just get a scan. That's probably the easiest to understand how it works.
Okay, one last question.
One last question, lucky last question of the night from Anna. Can we run every night for 4 hours? Is this a program in general, programs in general, or a specific program? I'm not too
Okay.
sure.
In the night when you run, you will have to run the blue dot, right? It doesn't matter. Even you follow what your feeling is. Some people run it for, like me, I run it for 1 or 2 nights, but I don't need it to run every night, right? And how do you know it works? Because when you wake up in the morning, you feel fresh. How do you know it doesn't work? Is when it keeps you up awake all night long. That's when you're going to shut it off, right? So I would say, Anna, try, experiment, see what's good for you, right? I have known some people who run it 8 hours a night every day, and they love it. They just love how they feel in the morning when they wake up. So the answer to your question, the short answer is yes, you can.
And I want to remind all of you that Healy is a tool. It does not replace your intention. So a lot of you start learning to use it. That's great. But you are the source of intention. The Healy only magnify it 1,000 times. But without your clear intention, nothing will happen. So you can't just rely on the Healy to do the job for you. No, you have to manifest the intention, and you have to manifest all those points that Joyce has shared with us. And and over time, you will see the improvement in your confidence, in how you face the fear. And instead of just relying this to solve your problem, you have to manifest it.
Remember, you are the magic.
All right, guys. Then I would say we finished the call here. That was amazing. Once again, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for setting this up, May, and pushing Joyce to come out and share her and dropping these knowledge bombs. Let's do this again very soon, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here, sharing your time and space with us. And I hope to see you next time. Maybe share some hearts and share some ones in the chat if you really like this conversation, so we know we have to repeat it. And it will be shared for sure. May will put it on YouTube, and we will put
Everywhere.
it in the Evolve
Yep.
with Healy Facebook group as well, so you can share it later to all your team partners, members, and loved ones, and so forth. So thank you so much for being here, and you have a great morning, day, and night, wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Feel free to unmute to say thank you. Thank you so much,
Bye
Joyce.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, May.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Joyce.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Max and
everyone.
May.